Right, lads and lassies, let's get straight into it. The good news is we're richer, not just in spirit, but in the actual pound notes after last night's win. Rangers are £500,000 better off thanks to that Europa League victory. And while some might say that cash is just a bonus, it's actually a big deal. It's not only about the money, it's about momentum, it's about moving forward, and it's about showing that we're still on the up. This is January the 23rd, and we finally got our first win in the Europa League group stage this season. It's been a long time coming, and it's fair to say it's a relief to see the boys get that result. Now, let's not kid ourselves. The win didn't change anything in terms of qualification. We knew we were already out of the running, but it was still vital for the morale. It's about keeping the momentum going, especially with the run we're on. 8 wins in 9 across all competitions. That's not just good form. That's a statement. We're not here to be a footnote in Europe. We're here to build and grow. And there's another angle too, one that often gets overlooked: coefficient points. Those points matter if we want to keep pace with teams like Olympiacos, especially if we win the league and aim for that automatic Champions League spot. Every point counts, and last night gave us a bit more breathing room, but of course it's always about the money, isn't it? Rangers are now £500,000 richer after the win against Ludo Goretzka's side, and I've got to say that name still sounds like something out of a David Bowie film, a proper fantasy character, isn't he? But jokes aside, the victory was a step forward. It was a magical little leap, and it's the kind of result that can set the tone for the next few weeks. The team looked like they wanted it, and that's the main thing. Now, we're going to get into the team selection and the performance, and there's plenty to discuss. Steven Gerrard, sorry, I mean Giovanni van Bronckhorst. No, hang on. It's actually Daniele De Rossi. Sorry, I'm just messing about. The manager, Michael Beale, named a very interesting lineup for the game. We had Butland in goal, Aarons, Fernandez, Moma, Raskin, Diamande, Asgari, Moore, Gassama, and up front, unfortunately, Chimiti. Now, Chimiti had a poor game, to be honest. He looked nervy, he missed yet another chance, and he just doesn't seem composed in front of goal. It's not a good look for a striker, and if we're being harsh, it's time to admit he's not cutting it. He's just not the player we need leading the line. The bench, though, was strong, and it was great to see Finlay Curtis get on and grab some minutes. The lad did well, even in that brief spell. He came on, did a little step over, cut inside, and took a shot that the keeper had to tip over. It was a proper moment, and it makes you wonder why he's even being considered for a loan. I know people say he might go to Kilmarnock, but honestly, keep him here. Let him play. He's better than Oliver Antman, and that's not just me saying it. Antman's been playing in Scotland, sure, but that doesn't automatically make him better. Curtis has the talent, the composure, and the confidence to make an impact, and I really think he deserves more chances. Overall, I thought the team played well. The first half especially was promising. When Dio scored in the 33rd minute, I genuinely thought we'd go on and score a few more. I expected us to dominate and win comfortably, but that's where the problem lies. Rangers lack a cutting edge. We lack quality and decisiveness in the final third. And when your striker can't hit a cow's backside with a banjo, you're going to struggle to score goals. Chimiti is a big part of that issue, but so is Bayamioski. He had a chance laid on a plate, and instead of putting his foot through it, he tried to caress it, to be gentle, and it didn't go in. It's that kind of decision-making that costs us. That said, there were plenty of positives. Raskin was terrific. He ran the show and played exceptionally well. Mikey Moore was influential too, even if he wasn't quite at his best. Nasaja had a decent game, and he's a player who's been criticized recently, but I thought he did all right. Fernandez had the odd error, but he's still young and learning the game, and I thought he handled himself well. Butland made a couple of good saves, including a superb one from Stanek around the half-hour mark. Other than that, it was pretty quiet, which is exactly what you want from your keeper. Aarons was solid. I'd give him a 7 out of 10, maybe even an 8. He made a goal-saving block in the second half, and he's a player who gets a lot of criticism, but he's still a better right-back than James Tavernier. That's just the reality. Raskin was good, and Diamande played really well. He always seems to thrive in Europe, and last night was no different. He's more suited to that style of football, and he showed it again. Gassama, however, was frustrating. At times, he can breeze past defenders, but then he doesn't know what to do with the ball once he's past them. His decision-making is poor, and that's why we're still looking for other wingers. We need that finishing touch, that final pass, that killer instinct, and Gassama just doesn't consistently provide it. So, yes, it was a positive display overall, but it also highlighted a major issue. We badly need a striker this January. Neither Bayamiovski nor Chimiti impressed me at all. In fact, I'd sell both of them if I could. I'd take a loss on Chimiti because that's what it would take. Everton saw right through us when they signed him, and it's clear he's not a top-level player. We need someone who can put the ball in the back of the net regularly, and we need that now. Right, let's move on from the performance and talk about the transfer talk, because that's where things get really interesting. This morning, the papers down in England were buzzing with a name that's been linked with Rangers, a current Sheffield Wednesday player called Jan Valeri. Now, I can hear the skeptics already, the ones shouting, another championship player, another duffer. But I'm going to say this straight. It's not as simple as that. Yes, he plays in the championship, but he's not your typical mid-table championship fullback. There's more to him than people are giving him credit for. And the key thing is that he's a player Michael Beale knows and trusts. Beale has worked with Valeri before, and if the manager rates him, that's a big deal. It's not like we're signing some random bloke off a YouTube highlight reel. This is a player that the manager has seen up close, a player he believes can fit into his system and bring something to the squad. And let's be honest, Beale has done enough in his short time at Rangers to earn our trust. He's shown he knows how to judge players. He's shown he understands what it takes to play for this club. And he's shown he's not afraid to make bold decisions. So if he wants Valeri, I'm willing to give it a chance. Jan Valeri is 26 years old, born in France, but he's Tunisian through his parents, and he plays for the Tunisian national team. He's got 20 caps for Tunisia, so he's not just some kid with potential. He's a proper international, and that experience matters. He's 6'1", big, quick, and strong. He's the kind of player that fits the profile Beale seems to be looking for: physical, athletic, fast, and capable of competing at a high level. And he's not just a right back. He's a versatile player who can play across multiple positions. He can slot in at right back, right midfield, central midfield, defensive midfield, and even centre back if needed. That kind of flexibility is gold for a manager, especially when you're dealing with injuries and a packed schedule. Valeri came through the Rennes youth system before moving to Southampton, and he's had spells with Birmingham on loan and now Sheffield Wednesday. He's got a solid football education, and he's played at a good level. This season, he's made 21 championship appearances, and while he's only got 1 assist, it's important to remember that Sheffield Wednesday are having a terrible season. They're struggling badly, and the whole club is in financial trouble. They're in administration. They've got a points deduction, and they're desperate to raise cash. That means they could be willing to sell players for a cut price fee, and that's exactly the kind of situation Rangers should be looking to exploit. Now, let's talk about his stats because they tell a story. He's played 78% of the available minutes, and he's been in the starting 11 77% of the time. That shows he's trusted by his manager, and it shows he's a regular performer. His goal contribution rate is only 7%, which isn't spectacular, but again, you have to consider the team he's in. Sheffield Wednesday are not creating chances, they're not dominating games, and they're struggling to score. So for a fullback to have any goal contribution at all in that environment is not bad. And the fact that he's still getting games and still playing regularly tells you he's a dependable player. The big selling point for Valeri is his defensive ability. He's strong in the air, he reads the game well, and he recovers the ball effectively. He makes a lot of tackles and clearances, and he's reliable under pressure. Now, I don't know about you, but the idea of having a right back who can actually defend properly is a breath of fresh air. It's been a long time since Rangers had a right back who could win headers, who could position himself well, and who didn't disappear when the opposition attacked. If Valeri is the kind of player who can bring that stability, then he's worth serious consideration. But he's not just a defensive player. He's also someone who can move the ball forward quickly and efficiently. He's got the dynamism to drive the team's build-up, and that's something Rangers need. And we need to be able to move the ball fast, get past players, create chances, and break down low blocks. Valeri's style seems to fit that. He's got a willingness to drive with the ball, to dribble past opponents, and to push forward when the opportunity presents itself. That means he can still offer that attacking fullback element that the team likes while also bringing defensive solidity. Another big advantage is his versatility, being able to play at right back, right midfield, or centre back gives the manager tactical flexibility. He can be used in different formations, he can cover injuries, and he can adapt to different opponents. That kind of adaptability is exactly what you want in a squad player, especially in January when the fixtures come thick and fast. And it's not just about his position, it's also about his mentality. Valeri is described as having a resilient mindset, learning from mistakes, and focusing on continuous improvement. He's not the type to sulk or get disheartened. He's focused on getting better, and that kind of attitude is crucial at a club like Rangers. So, yes, in my opinion, Valeri looks like a good player. He looks like someone who could fit into the squad and bring something valuable. If there's a deal to be done, I'd definitely be exploring it. We need a right back, and we need one badly. Because if next season comes around and James Tavernier is still leading the team out, I think a lot of fans will be tearing their hair out. His time is done, and we need to be honest about that. He's been a good servant, yes, but he's not a legend. The word legend gets thrown around too much these days, and it's time we stopped using it for every player who's been at the club for a while. Legends are the likes of Colin Stein, Willie Johnston, Paul Gascoigne, Ali McCoist, Andy Gorham, Richard Gough, and Terry Butcher. Those are legends. James Tavernier is not in that category. He's been a loyal player, he's scored goals, and he's done a job, but his legs have gone. They've been gone for the last 3 seasons, and it's time to accept it. Tavernier fans need to wake up and realize that he's not the player he once was. He needs to be moved on. And if we can bring in someone like Valeri, that's a step in the right direction. Now, moving on from the transfer talk, Rangers have Dundee on Sunday. This is a big game, and it's a chance to keep the momentum going. We're at home at Ibrox, and that's where we need to be strong. The title race is still on, and I still believe it's a three-way fight between us, Celtic, and Hearts. Hearts are currently in pole position, but that doesn't mean anything yet. There's still plenty of football to be played, and if we keep this run going, we can still be right in the mix. We've got a new owner who finally seems willing to back the club properly, and that's a huge deal. We're bringing players in, we're strengthening the squad, and we're becoming harder to beat. We're more resilient. We don't leak silly goals, and we're starting to look like a team with a plan, but we still need that cutting edge. We need a striker who can score consistently. If we can bring that in, and if players like Scott Olsen and Chouani can add that extra bite in the final third, then Rangers are moving in the right direction. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to get all the exclusive news about Rangers FC. Don't overlook any details about your beloved team. It's crucial for Rangers FC fans. Whispers around Ibrox suggest that Rangers may be making a move for English fullback Ben Johnson, currently plying his trade with Ipswich Town. Johnson, a right-sided defender noted for his tenacity and reading of the game, has been a standout performer in the EFL, and it seems the Glasgow club is keeping a keen eye on his progress. Sources close to the club claim that the move could be motivated by Rangers' desire to add more steel and composure to their backline. Johnson, who has impressed with both his defensive discipline and his ability to support attacks down the flank, is reportedly seen as a player capable of stepping straight into the Scottish Premiership and making an immediate impact. Those familiar with the situation hint that his versatility, able to cover both right and left sides if needed, adds further appeal to the potential signing. While nothing is confirmed, the speculation has certainly caught the attention of fans and pundits alike. Johnson's style of play, combining energetic runs with an uncanny sense of positioning, has drawn comparisons to some of the more established defenders in the Premiership. The rumours suggest that Rangers management sees him as a player who could help tighten up a defence that has at times been prone to lapses under pressure. Adding fuel to the speculation, insiders suggest that negotiations could hinge on Ipswich's valuation of Johnson, as the EFL side will understandably want fair compensation for one of their prized talents. Meanwhile, supporters at Ibrox are already imagining how a defender of Johnson's caliber might change the dynamic of their squad, particularly against Europe-bound opponents, where defensive solidity is paramount. Although this remains firmly in the realm of speculation, the buzz is undeniable. Should Rangers succeed in their pursuit, it would mark a significant statement of intent from the club, signalling their determination not only to compete domestically, but also to strengthen their squad for challenges on the continental stage. Ben Johnson's potential arrival could well be the spark that invigorates a defence looking for consistency. And if the whispers prove true, the Scottish football scene may soon have a fresh storyline to follow. Greetings, fans. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, as it's greatly appreciated by Rangers FC. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments section below. Until the next video, stay tuned.